Hi, everybody. Welcome to our penultimate episode of Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. We are here in studio after day one of York Revolution Spring Training 2026. What a thrill it is to say that at long last. Daryl Henry, Rev's manager Rick Forney, for those of you watching on YouTube later on tonight, or whenever you want for that matter, we are here in the WOYK studio. And Rick, it's great to have you here. Great to have the boys here and look across the table from you rather than across the Zoom connection.
Yeah, I prefer it this way. It just, unfortunately, it doesn't work out for us in the wintertime, but it is nice to be here. It's nice to be sitting with you and chatting Revs baseball again and ready for the start of the season.
Did you come up this morning or yesterday?
I came up first thing this morning. I had stuff to do at home yesterday, and I guess I left the house about 5:30 this morning, so I got to town about 7:15 and walked right in my office and trying to get myself situated, and here we are.
So while I was still fast asleep, you were getting all kinds of stuff done.
I don't know if I was getting anything done. I got myself here safely. That's the most important thing, yeah.
So you've met everybody in person today. What's your initial impression?
Well, I look forward to this day because, I think it's important when you're, putting your team together and stuff. You get to know them a little bit and you hear their voice and you talk to them, but it's different when you meet them for the first time face to face and put a name with a face and shake hands and chat a little bit. It's all part of the process, and I look forward to that. And some of these guys are a little bigger than I anticipated.
Yeah.
So, it's been a good morning.
What did we accomplish today? I know it's very cold.
Nothing really. Just, we had to come today because this is really the only day WellSpan could fit us in for our physicals. I mean, I guess they're so busy over there that it's hard to get Dr. Deitch and all his people on the same page in terms of availability to kind of work through a group this large. So only day we could get it done this week, but thankful for them for coming over and doing that and got it done quick, and no red flags for the first time. Since I've been here, there's always a player or two that there was a little concern in terms of what their health situation is and potentially could be, but knock on wood, he said this is the healthiest group they've had here in like 10 or 15 years. So
wow,
that went well this morning, and just guys going out and just playing catch and getting on their feet a little bit, and we'll start getting after it really in probably another day or two.
Yeah, well, quick look ahead, and we have a lot to get to here tonight. We have 6 player signings tonight, 6 on Thursday, and then that's a wrap, as they say. But what is the upcoming plan for you? Now we have the Rotary meeting tomorrow, which is an annual tradition. That's the lunch gathering here. Fan Fest on Sunday. We'll be on radio, and at least I will be, provided that I don't fall off the dugout roof when we're doing that little get-together as we always do. But in and around that, what do we have going on here the next few days?
Well, tomorrow we got the Rotary event in the morning, and I believe there's a ball game here late in the afternoon, so there's not a whole lot of available time for us, it doesn't seem like, but hopefully we can get outside, the weather will be a little bit better, and kind of just go through the motions of baseball activity and be on our legs for a couple hours.
That's a big part, right? I mean, it takes a little bit for guys to get used to being on their feet for that long.
Yeah, usually when they're working out, they're hitting in some cage and sitting down on some bench or some seat in between reps, or they're at the gym and not really going out and getting their legs underneath them and standing for 2 or 3 hours. But that's what we do, really. I mean, during the season, you're on your feet for an hour and a half before the game, and then you get a little bit of a break, and then you play a 3-hour game, and that's a big part of it. You got to get them ready and used to being on their legs for that period of time, and it takes a little while. You can't do it all in one day, that's for sure. I've never had that turn out for the better, but we'll do it in slow increments. I mean, tomorrow's going to be pretty quick, but obviously the days after that are going to be a little bit longer.
All right. Well, this is always one of the most exciting days of the year, the first day together, and that has happened today. So again, it is absolutely phenomenal to be back. And let's start it off, Rick. We still have 12 guys to announce here between today and Thursday. Let's start with somebody whose name was out there because it's who you selected at the Atlantic League Pro Day event last week, and you found yourself a pitcher. Who do we have first?
Yeah, so we've signed, and I selected this young man in the draft at the Pro Day workout, this right-handed pitcher, Aaron Schaefer. Young man, played a little bit in the Pioneer League, but I thought he threw well when I saw him in Hagerstown. The velocity was good. It was 91, 92, and really high spin rate for a young man. And threw a lot of strikes while we were there and earned an opportunity to go to camp with us.
Yeah, I know he played Division I baseball at Bethune-Cookman. He is from Florida. Did he drive the whole way up?
He drove up from Davie, Florida. I think he's been here for a few days. He's really anxious to get going. I'm sure he would have probably come right over from Hagerstown if he had stuff with him. But his mom and dad actually were in Hagerstown with him during that workout. So they were there to see him get selected, and just told him, this is when we start, make sure you're there, and he was here a couple days early.
Nice. Well, how was the event in general? I know you got to hang out with all your managerial counterparts.
Yeah, I thought it went well. I think they do a good job of keeping things organized, and the weather was good, thank goodness, because April in Hagerstown can be pretty cold. Once you get over South Mountain, it could be 40 degrees, but luckily the weather was really, really good for the 2 days, and all the players there got an opportunity, and it's good to be with the other managers in the league. That's really the only time during the season that we're all kind of in person in the same room and able to chat and catch up a little bit. And we don't talk a lot of shop amongst each other, but it's good to be with everybody before the season even starts.
Aaron Schaefer, 24-year-old, not the biggest guy, 5'10". He was in the Pioneer League briefly with Yuba Sutter. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Maybe Suter, somewhere out west. But he's got probably the least experience pro-wise here, so what does he need to show you in camp?
Well, I kind of told him, Hagerstown, I'm not going to promise anything. It's going to be tough to make that club, but it's an opportunity, and I guess the biggest thing is going to start by just throwing strikes when he toes the rubber for live BP, and that's going to kind of determine what the next step's going to be for him. I mean, obviously there's some experienced guys in that room, and for him to grab a roster spot, he's going to have to be pretty near perfect during camp.
All right, so Aaron Schaefer first. We have a returning position player next, and then in our second segment, 2 new names, and in our third segment, 2 major returning pitchers from last year's success. So Thursday, I think it's all new names and a lot of pitchers. That's what we're looking at. So Rick, Aaron Schaefer, who's our second signing this week? This guy's a returning position player.
Yeah, we've signed infielder Brandon Lewis, part-time knuckleballer when need be.
Yeah, he is.
Really did a nice job for us. A tremendous teammate. Love having him around. Attitude's just unbelievable. And he was effective in spurts for us last year. A little hot and cold, but at the end of the day, he had some doubles and some home runs and drove in some runs for us, some big runs, and plays a really good third base. And he looks fantastic right now. He's lost some weight, got himself in really good shape. So I know him and Wolfie have had some conversations, and he's sent some video of him swinging to Wolf. And Derek seems to be pretty excited about his swing progressions and the changes that he's made. So hopefully that means a big year for Brandon.
Yeah, that's another thing that stood out to me when I talked with Wolfie a couple of weeks ago. We couldn't say this at the time because obviously we hadn't announced Brandon yet, but I vividly remember him mentioning Brian Ray's bat speed and Brandon Lewis almost remaking his swing or his approach. There's something going on there.
Yeah, he put some time into it, you can tell, and the adjustments to Wolfie were obvious, and he's really excited to get eyes on him in person today for the first time.
And they might be in the cage as we speak. I know they were going in there.
Yeah, it could be. I mean, I usually pull me away from doing my duties to come in here and hang out with you. But I wish I could see what's going on down there.
To be factual, you offered to come up. Right. I think you wanted to get up here in the warmth. But now, B-Lou, as we affectionately call him, last year hit 255, 15 homers, drove in 69 for you. Former fourth-round pick of the Dodgers, was in their system, had some big years, 3 years at AA Tulsa. So solid year, but a chance maybe even more this year.
Yeah, he didn't join us on time last year. He was late.
Right.
I mean, we were talking to him in the off season, agreed to terms. Then he had an opportunity to go to Mexico, and that didn't work out. And I don't know the exact date, but he wasn't with us at the beginning of the season. And his season could have been, statistically speaking, probably could have been a lot better if he was here from the start. Just unfortunately, you got to take that chance to go to Mexico and make more money, and it didn't go so well for him, but I'm really glad that he reached back out to me and wanted to continue playing and come to York, and we got him in as quick as we could, and he really helped us because when we brought him back in, we were scuffling at third base. We just couldn't get it right over there, and we were looking for some upgrades, and third base was a position, not basically from an offensive standpoint. We were looking to upgrade our defense over there, and he did a good job for us. We played him a lot when he first got here, and I was getting a little worried once we got a month into the season. He wasn't getting a day off other than our regular scheduled Monday, but he did a good job.
We'll have to have him on during the season to talk about this if he wants to. There aren't that many, good local stories on guys anymore because newspapers aren't really a thing anymore. But I found one on him that I never found last year. And I guess when he was in high school, he was really heavy.
Yeah.
And he got with a trainer and he dropped weight because he wanted to play third base. He was basically, I guess, a first baseman and a pitcher. That's all he did until he proved that he could be athletic, and drop that weight. And he went to UC Irvine with that new build, played third base, and now he's the Brandon Lewis that we know. Interesting story.
It is, and I saw a picture of him in high school.
Did you really?
Yes, and you wouldn't believe it's him.
Really?
Yeah, he's worked really hard at this for a number of years to get himself in shape to make himself a player in college, and here he is on year 7 or 8 of his pro career, all because he made a lifestyle choice and chose to get himself in better shape and change his diet a little bit. And even today, you can tell that he's 15 or 20 pounds lighter than he was last year.
Wow. Did you had him at first base for a little bit today?
Just periodically. I mean, he'll play some first base and third base and wherever you need him.
I mean, I noticed during infield, Jacob Teeter looks really good at first, and I noticed that you had Joe DeLuca over there for a bit as well. So I knew Brandon was at third. I wasn't sure if you had him at first also. But
yeah, he was over there a little bit.
All right. Well, Aaron Schaefer, Brandon Lewis, the first two announced. We've got 4 to go. Stay with us. We'll take a break here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. And 2 new names, 2 potential impact guys for us on the other side of the break. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. We are in studio together. What an exciting day for that reason. But also because it's day 1 of Rev's spring training. The whole gang is here. The whole team is here. And it is one of the most exciting days of the baseball year. In fact, opening night is 2 weeks from tonight. And actually, 2 weeks from right now, we're on the air past 6 p.m. We'll be on the air for opening day ceremonies here at Wellspan Park.
Exciting.
So it's very exciting. Cannot wait. But Aaron Schaefer from the Pro Day draft and Brandon Lewis returning to York, those 2 in our first segment. Rick, we got some new names here in our second segment this week, and let's go to your infield. This was a late signing that you made, and as soon as I saw his career path, I'm like, wow, this guy was available at this stage of the game. This is a pretty good get for you. Who do we have?
Yeah, we've signed infielder Nick Dunn, Pennsylvania guy, and really good infielder, a lot of AAA experience, University of Maryland alum, and He's had a fantastic career. Kind of shocked that he's in this situation, but he's not the only one. There's a number of players, similar resumes, that are not in affiliated baseball, probably where they, deserve to be, but some really big season in organized baseball. Hits for a high average, on base percentage is good, walks more than he strike out, and really excited to have him. He'll hit in the top of our lineup.
Yeah, he's well. First of all, he's a left-hand hitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. 29 years old, 5th round pick of the Cardinals out of Maryland, and he's been in their system. The Mariners, the Phillies, got to AAA with all of them. AAA each of the last 3 years. And of all the levels at which he's played, he's got his highest average at AAA, 289, 272 career hitter. But I've got to think, Rick, based on everything I've heard about him, he's a real candidate to maybe get picked up if somebody has a need.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, the resume's there, so hopefully he's arrived in shape and ready to go and can get off to a really good start, because I for sure think he's a candidate.
Is he another versatile defensive guy?
Yeah, I mean, primarily second base, but he can kick over to third base if need be.
Minor league organizational all-star with St. Louis along the way. AAA Memphis 2023, he hit 302. And AA that year, 332. And then 2 years ago, back at Memphis, 316.
Yeah.
And, I know there were fans on message boards clamoring for him to get the opportunity. He never got the call up, but had a tremendous AAA run there for a few years. I meant to bring this up in the first segment. I'm thinking of Cardinals minor leaguers. I saw where Nick Riquet got traded to the Orioles.
I didn't see that. I saw he was designated for assignment, but I didn't see what the end result would. But hey, good for Nick. That's a good fit at this time. They're desperate for some bullpen arms that are healthy and will go out there and throw strikes and keep the ball on the ground. I think it's a great fit.
Yeah, so that was exciting news today. I meant to mention that off the bat, but I'll tell you, when I saw Nick Dunn's name come across last week, that was pretty exciting news as well.
Yeah, it made my day. I mean, the agent reached out to me and said Nick wants to play and play close to home, and he doesn't live far from here, and it didn't take me very long to make an offer and push to get it done. From
Sunbury, Pennsylvania. That is his hometown. Had an unbelievable prep career at Shikellamy High School. I know how to pronounce my Pennsylvania names.
There you go.
And for our second signing in this segment, you've got his former Maryland Terrapins teammate. You've got a little University of Maryland pipeline here to York.
Yeah, not only his teammate, but his college roommate. We signed right-handed pitcher Hunter Parsons. Hard-throwing right-hander, big-time velocity, and he throws it over the plate. He's another guy that could get signed in a hurry out of this league.
Yeah, pull up Parsons' background here. His entire career in the Mets system, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And he had gotten to AAA Syracuse for the parts of the 2023 and 24 seasons. Last year he was at AA Binghamton, where they had one of the great pitching staffs and seasons in all of minor league baseball last year, and he was part of that. But 28-year-old right-hander from Salisbury, Maryland, 19th round pick of the Mets back in 2019. Is he one of the guys that got off the mound today or not? Did you see him yet?
I didn't see, to be honest with you. I don't believe so, no.
But he's a guy. He's a dude.
Yeah, he's a guy. He's got what you want. If you're putting a bullpen together, especially in indie ball, and you want some high velo and somebody that has a chance to get back to affiliated ball, he checks all of those boxes. So, for many reasons, guys end up here, but I think it's pretty evident with Hunter. Just make sure we're really good at throwing first pitch strikes, win the 1-1 count, minimize walks, and you should succeed in this league and give yourself an opportunity to get back.
Man, if I would have only known, I maybe would have gone to see some 2018 Maryland Terrapin games, because you had Nick Dunn, you had Hunter Parsons, you had Bubba, Aline. You had Marty Costas.
Yeah, they had good clubs. They lost to UConn, I think, in the regional that year, and I think it was played in College Park. They hosted a regional. You have a pretty good team if you're hosting a regional.
Yeah. Well, those are two big gets. It is. I understand it. It's a shame that we have to wait to let everybody know who's on this team until half the team until April. But we've been holding on to some good names, and there's a couple of them right there.
Yeah, I just think, there can be just a small adjustment in some of the league rules that will allow us to make some player announcement and drum up some interest for the fan base, and maybe it helps push some ticket sales as well. So maybe it's something that can be changed in the future.
It would be nice. And I don't want to speak out of turn here, but somebody asked me yesterday just how I feel about this year's preseason roster compared to what you had, last year. And granted, you've got to keep guys healthy. You don't know who's going to get picked up, all that stuff. But do you feel really good about the group that you have? Do you feel like you're maybe talent-wise a little bit ahead of where you were last year? Because you had to add some guys kind of on the fly last year, and that was a big reason for last year's success, whether it was mid-season or a week or two in. But do you feel like what you I don't want to
I know where you're going with it, Daryl. Yeah,
this was something I was asked yesterday.
Yeah, so to me, paper is paper.
Yeah, sure. I mean? Yeah,
and on paper, I would say the answer to the question is yes, but there's no guarantees. Do I feel better about it? Yeah, I do, but I didn't really feel all that bad about what we had last year. Do I feel like we have better arm talent to start the season compared to last year? Without a doubt.
Yeah. I think that's where it shows up.
Yeah, I think there's some better arm talent here. I think there's really good position players just like we had last year. I think there's definitely potential.
Yeah.
But again, it's just paper, and every season starts new and presents new challenges, and we'll see how it unfolds.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what I can come up with to put you on the spot in segment 3 and make you uncomfortable. I'm sure I can find something.
You're good at that.
Yes, I am. So Nick Dunn, Hunter Parsons, those are the two new names from this segment. Again, coming up in our final segment next, we've got two major contributors from last year's championship returning to the pitching staff, and one of them might even have a new role this year, so stay tuned for that. This is Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Welcome back here on Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Big night of baseball on the station. Phillies and Giants late tonight, 9 p.m. out west, and get you your Revs fix right now. We'll be with you Thursday evening again, and then we'll have the Sunday Fan Fest game on radio as well. So, Rick, here in our final segment, two big returning names to your pitching staff. I think last year it was kind of storybook the way that it may not have felt like that at the time because you had to replace the whole pitching staff, but July and August you did that, and it became a major strength and a major reason why your team won the championship, and these two guys were a huge part of that. So take it away. Who do we have first?
We've signed right-handed pitcher Nick Michalczak. He's coming back, and we're excited to have him back, and he was really good for us last year in some high leverage situations, and it wasn't always the 6th or 7th inning. He pitched the 9th inning for us, pitched the 8th inning, did a heck of a job for us, and really made our bullpen deeper, and they're looking for a new opportunity to jump into a rotation this year. They kind of feel like this may be his best avenue back to affiliated baseball. I'm a little surprised that he didn't get signed by somebody and brought to spring training to compete for a job. I mean, the guy's got a career 3.5 ERA and 3 seasons in AAA.
Yeah.
And he's really good, and he was good for us last year. And I saw him at the Tread Pro Day workout in January, and he was really good there. It was 94, 95, and I felt like, I know he had a contract in his back pocket to go to Mexico at the time, but I felt like somebody would sign him within a week of that workout. It just never came together, but I really assumed that he was going to go to Mexico, and just lo and behold, I got a call from his agent that Nick didn't want to go to Mexico, had a change of heart, and wanted to know if I'd bring him back. Like, duh. Of course we'd bring him back. But really good person, great in the clubhouse, fierce competitor, and obviously we're excited to have him back.
He moved in with my father-in-law last night, so he's got the host family
there you go.
situation lined up again. But yeah, when he was here last year, 193 ERA and 19 outings with your team. 16 of those were scoreless. 3 of the 4 in the playoffs were scoreless. Why is he able? I mean, I know the answer, but why is he able to transition from bullpen to starting? Why is he able to do it? No, okay.
We don't know.
I guess you're right.
That remains to be seen.
I guess you're right.
I think experience at the AAA level certainly helps, and he has 4 or 5 pitches. If you're a 2-pitch guy, sinker slider, then transition is probably nearly impossible unless you got impeccable command and you're really good at varying hold times and you manage to run a game. You do all that stuff, but he's not a one-trick pony. He's got different pitches, and again, though, we're going to kind of see how it looks, and I'm confident he can do it.
Is it almost, have we gotten to the point now where there's so many relievers that throw 96, and maybe if he shows the ability to, be 95 with that nasty stuff as a starter, maybe that gets somebody's attention? Maybe,
but I think it's hard to go back as a starter. It really is. Usually organizations have prospects that kind of cover those roles. I think if he's stretched out as a starter, then he can have some value as a bulk reliever at the AAA or AA level. You have somebody that can eat some innings for you because they don't lengthen out arms in affiliated baseball. Your outings are usually pretty short, and you could scroll through Baseball Reference for days before you find a starting pitcher at any level of affiliated baseball that throws 175 innings for you.
Yeah.
And probably less than that. I don't know how many guys throw 150 innings in a season anymore. And, when I was with the Orioles, that was kind of prerequisite. You weren't moving a level until you had 150 innings as a starter at each level, or 50-plus games appeared out of the bullpen. And it's just different times. But I don't think it hurts his chances of getting back. As long as he can maintain his velo, when you're starting, it's a little bit different workload. And you're not going to get signed. If you throw 90, 93, you're going to be considered below a stock right-hander at that velocity. So somehow you're going to have to still pump some cheese and be able to spread it out over 15 or 18 outs.
Yeah. Career ERA is 3.08, just to drive home how good he's been. Former closer at Sam Houston State. And he did some starting in college as well. So he's done it before. And now 28 years old, former 11th round pick of Cleveland back in 2019. Had a thought and I lost it. Oh, the Baseball Reference, just to support what you're saying. I've got our media guide up here in front of me on the computer, which is going to print here in the next few days. You can buy it at the First Capital Federal Credit Union team store.
I look forward to reading that.
By opening day, yeah. I'm sure you'll read it front to back like always. But one thing I do just to see if, somebody had a great performance or whatever, I'll go through their day-by-days, their game logs on Baseball Reference, and the number of starts that are 4 innings. And guys pitch great. It's not like they had to come out because they were getting lit up. Just at the affiliated level, 4 innings, and then it's on to maybe you're being piggybacked or whatever. It's just not the same as it used to be.
No, I think some of it's the style and the way they pitch too. It's not really conducive to first pitch outs. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. When you're a spin rate guy and you're pitching to the top of the zone, there's a lot of balls and foul tips and things like that. So it's a lot of 3-1, 3-2 counts.
Yeah.
Pitch count goes through the roof, 4 innings, your day's over. So it's a little different when you preach pitching to the bottom of the zone and, trying to spin the ball down below that zone and see if you can get a first pitch out or making something happen within the first 4 pitches. I don't think things like that are really discussed anymore.
Mm-hmm. Only on this show, apparently. That's what we're here for. But Nick Michalacek coming back, and Rick, let's finish it off with a bang. This is another returning arm from last year's championship. Who do we have last but certainly not least here?
Yeah, we signed right-handed pitcher Josh Maleris, and really excited to have him back. And he was awesome for us last year. And when you talk to other people from other teams, they talk about how good our bullpen was last year. And it always the same names come to mind. They always want to talk about Cam and his season and how good Salucci was and how good Nick was. And this guy was as good as any of them when he came over. I mean, he really threw the ball well for us and attacks the strike zone, super aggressive, and competes very well.
He was a bundle of energy in the clubhouse today. He seems excited to get things going. The 26-year-old, he was a 10th round pick of the Blue Jays back in 2023, was dealt to the Rangers system, and had a pretty good year there before being let go mid-year, late year last year, and that's when he ended up with your team, 3.50 ERA and 15 outings. He had 26 Ks to 4 walks. Yeah, in 18 innings.
He was as good as anybody we had in that bullpen last year.
Yeah. And all 4 postseason outings were scoreless as well. So I think we've announced all the returning guys, I think. Thursday at 6 p.m., we've got 6 more signings to announce, and I think it's going to be pitching heavy, just based on, off the top of my head, who we haven't announced yet, but you got some good ones there too that we've yet to unveil, so looking forward to that.
I feel pretty good about the arm talent that we've been able to acquire and bring to camp, and it's getting to be about that time where we start getting out on the field and see what it all looks like.
Can't wait. You hungry?
I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too. Let's wrap it up. Rick, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow, but we'll be back in this seat Thursday. I look forward to it.
Thank you, pal.
All right. Again, Aaron Schaefer from Pro Day, Brandon Lewis returning. Then we had the 2 new names, Nick Dunn, probably second base. I mean, he's played elsewhere, but Hunter Parsons in the bullpen, and then the returning pitchers, Nick Michalacek and Josh Maleris. You can read all about those signings and catch the archive on YorkRevolution.com when that goes up later if you missed any of this show. And we'll be back with you again Thursday at 6 p.m. for our season finale of Rev's Hot Stove Weekly, presented by Shipley Energy. Until then, for Rick Forney across the table from me, Daryl Henry saying so long from our WOYK studios. Wonderful to be back, and we'll talk to you Thursday at 6 here on WOYK.
Revolution!